All right, testing, testing. Welcome to another live stream. As you see the title, 2026 is here. You know, I noticed a lot of people, around my area and neighboring areas were celebrating this false New Year because we know the real New Year don't begin till the spring. Was good. Salute. Salute, brother. But anyway, these clowns out here was popping fireworks and shooting firearms. I'm saying to myself, these idiots wasting ammunition. You you wasting ammunition, celebrating a false new year. And you still gotta pay bills. You still gotta go to them jobs you hate. You still gotta deal with that annoying coworker. You still gotta deal with that boss that's been an asshole to you all last year. I'm just speaking in general. It's vanity. It's vanity. I mean, wasting ammunition, shooting them guns and all that. But yeah, like I was telling people, yeah, the only thing that's changing is the numbers on the calendar. From 2025 to 2026, it's gonna be the same buffoonery going on in the world. You're gonna have the same nonsense going on the internet world. You're gonna have the same great type of people complaining about the economy, the system, the dating market, whatever. It was just a day people. You see, the elites know what they're doing with these so-called holidays. It's to distract people to get their mind off of what they've been going through all that year, just for that day. But come January 2nd, like today is the 5th, it gonna have more craziness going on this year. Like I've been saying for the last since 2020, since the event that happened in 2020, y'all know what event I'm talking about. This whole decade of the 2020 is gonna be a rocky road. From 2020 to 2030, it's gonna be a wild ride. Just keep your eyes open, stay breathing. It's gonna be a wild ride. And like I say, I ain't no prophet. I don't claim none of that shit. I ain't no prophet. Like some of these religious people, whether they Christians, Israelites, Muslims, want to call themselves a prophet, but they can't help our people out of the situation that they in. So much stuff. I just been keeping my ears to the street, on these YouTube streets. It's a lot of stuff that's been going on. You know, it seems like the so-called passport bros is in some hot water in Brazil. I know Ringo been touching base on it. Like I said, I never been keeping in touch. Like a couple of the passport bros, like one of them got caught messing with a child. Now you see that damn dumbass. He gonna make it bad for all black men because this world views black men as one big. You know what? It don't matter what your background is. It don't matter if you're a working brother, a street brother, an educated brother. It don't matter what your sexual orientation is as a black man. This world gonna view you as the scum of the earth. Gonna view you as a big nigga. I don't care. You could try to talk all powerful you want. You could use all the big words you want. They never gonna see you an equal in this Western civilization. They not gonna see you as one of their equals. You know, that's real talk. But yeah, these clowns. And what's gonna happen, I guess, as soon as they see a black man touch down in Brazil, they gonna have their radar on deck. All the people in Brazil gonna be looking out for us that want to go there. That's why I say these passport bros, they are nuisance. They've been a problem. And you see, their ringleader, Austin Holloman, he was pro passport bro. Now he turned on them. He ain't rocking with that no more. He ain't rocking with the passport bros no more. That's what y'all gotta understand. These content creators, these so-called grifters, these influencers, man, y'all need to stop paying attention to these buffoons. I'll be damned if I'm buying somebody course on YouTube. Oh, buy my course to help you be to learn financial literacy and all that. Buy my course if you want to learn how to read the room and be a master socializer. Man, to heck with all that nonsense. That's a bunch of buffoonery. You're just throwing money away. It's bad enough you gotta throw money away paying these bills. That's an unnecessary bill when you paying a content creator for a course. How dare you gonna buy a course from a YouTuber when they don't even have a certificate of themselves? They don't have a college degree. Some of these clowns don't have college degrees, but they want to sell you a course. Some of these motherfuckers never went to college before, but they want to sell you a course on YouTube, an online course. Man, get the hell out of here. That's some buffoonery. Like I said, you're gonna see a lot of that going on in 2020. So ain't nothing changed. Like I said, the only thing that changed about the year is the numbers on the calendar. It's gonna be the same chaotic stuff going on in the world. You're gonna have people fighting over politics, or you were lefty or you were the right, who cares? Because both wings belong to the same dirty bird. And both political parties in cahoots with each other. But the masses of people, they too blind and stupid to see that. The Republicans and Democrats is all a show. Behind the scenes, they laughing at the masses. They say, look, we got them another year. We got these dummies. We got them fighting and bickering over each other, over these talking points from the Republicans and Democrats, while they getting richer. And that's what's going on. These politicians, these senators, House of Representatives, the president getting richer and richer while the poor getting poor and poor. They trying to do away with the middle class. You're gonna have so many people getting laid off this year, losing their jobs. I've been watching a lot of that type of content too, how people fed up with their work, like how Amazon don't want to pay these people a decent wage, or they do pay good, but they have them working like slaves. That's crazy. You got these Amazon drivers, they gotta ride around in their delivery van or truck with a pee bottle. They gotta take a pee in the water bottle. That is insane. No, not me. If I was working, let's say if I was working for Amazon, I had to go to the bathroom. I'm gonna stop at the nearest stop, whether it's a gas station, store, because once you in that van, you the boss on the road. I don't care what dispatch see. Dispatch ain't doing all the heavy lifting. They don't know, dispatch don't know what them Amazon drivers gotta go through. They gotta deal with the public, they gotta deal with angry customers, they gotta deal with dogs. Sometimes these dogs will attack the Amazon workers, all bite you. And if you were trying to pepper spray the dog owner will want to penalize you and trying to get you fired, especially if they're a dog nutter. Because I can't stand dog nutters. They worse than a dog. You see, a dog lover and a dog nutter is two different things. You see, a dog lover, I say it's like borderline being a dog nutter. You see, a dog lover or a person that like dogs ain't gonna be afraid to fault a dog when a dog is wrong. But a dog nutter, for example, say if a pit bull bite a little child, a dog nutter gonna say the pit bull was the victim instead of the child. That's how stupid a dog nutter is. They need to be thrown in a pound with the dogs. Throw them in a pound with the damn dogs. Shucks. Yep. They need to throw them in a pound with the damn dogs, man. These dog nutters. They always want to victimize. Oh, the dog was the victim. No, the dog was trained to be vicious. It's gonna attack anything. It's gonna attack anybody that comes in and present. Drop the flag challenge, which that's F the streets challenge. Man, street culture need to go away. I agree, they need it. Yep, drop the flag challenge, whatever. F the streets, yeah, them streets, man, ain't been doing nothing for our people. It's just keeping us in a low vibrational state. These damn sellout rappers, man. I see a lot of people was making videos about rap fatigue. Man, I've been had rap fatigue. This ain't nothing new. The modern state of music is a fatigue. You know, that's not the lifestyle to promote. It promotes death. But anyway, yeah, drop my flag challenge after street. Yeah, they need to do that. These youngsters, they need to wake up and realize it's nothing for them on them streets but death and incarceration. What y'all fighting over? What y'all trying to prove? Y'all don't own nothing in them cities. Y'all standing on the block, but y'all don't own nothing in the hood. Y'all got these foreigners coming in y'all hoods, opening up shop and selling y'all products, and they don't respect y'all. They don't respect y'all. Like some of these Asians, they be like, hurry up and buy, hurry up and buy. And you got the Arabs come up in there. You don't know, they could be sleeper cells. Man, we in the era where everybody claiming the streets and snitching. Yeah, that's ain't no honor amongst thieves. And you gotta see when they get in the interrogation room, man, them cops, them detectives, they know how to manipulate. They practice witchcraft. You see, witchcraft is manipulation is a form of witchcraft, coercion. You know, yeah. People people think magic is fantasy. No, the elite they use magic to keep us asleep. You know, it's magicians and Fruit Loops run the world, man. Let me say it again. It's Fruit Loops. You know what I mean? It's Fruit Loops and magicians, witches. I'm gonna just be blunt about it. Witches and fags run this world, man. Witches and faggots run this world, and I'm gonna leave it at that. That's the truth. You know, these global elites, man. Look, ain't nothing new. You know, ain't nothing new under the sun. They use magic. They use that occult knowledge. Why they give the masses religion? They use that deep occult knowledge. They get knowledge from the fallen ones, from the fallen angels, the archons, you know, the reptilians, whatever you want to call them. They get knowledge from entities. See, all these world leaders, they probably got to get advice from an entity, some type of entity. It may sound crazy to the mundane person, but you know, because humanity is a young race, man. Humanity ain't that old. Even though humanity been on this earth for what, a couple of thousands of years, what, 5,000 years, 10,000 years, well, humanity is still a young race, you know, compared to all the beings in a multiverse. Humanity is the youngest race on this earth. You got beings that been on this earth before humans, you know, but you see, they give us religion and they tell us the narrative. We don't know the real story. They tell us, they taught us what they want. They taught us what they wanted to teach us, you know, just like with the maps. That's not the real maps they showed us. We know they might have 10 continents. We think they got 7 continents. They probably really got 10 continents. I'm just saying, you never know. You never know with them liars, because everything is built on lies in this modern day world. Exactly. That's facts. Them files got nothing but middle-aged white men. Not one brother on them Epstein files, but want to worry about us brothers. Yeah, yeah, these middle-aged white men, they the problem. These middle-aged gay-ass wizards, some gay faggot-ass wizards that practice witchcraft, satanic gay faggots, you know, they want to control the world. They want the rest of the world to suffer. Why they live in their false heaven on earth, you know? I don't care because I don't be doing content like this, so I'm going to cuss all I want on here. This YouTube shit, man, don't mean nothing to me no more. You know, it's unenjoyable, you know? So I'm gonna just let it rip. I come on when I feel like it. And you see a lot of people, they slaves to this YouTube shit. They do content every day like it's a second job. And don't get me wrong, they work a other job. That should have where you at. Especially if you work, like, say if you work 60 hours a week, 40, 60 hours a week, and then you coming home doing content, man, that's gonna wear you down. You're gonna wear your body out like that. But you got some of these contents, they doing content everything nonstop just for their YouTube paycheck. Let me tell y'all something, man. YouTube really don't want to pay people. That's why they promoting the AI content. They promoting the AI channels. And you see a lot of that in all sectors of YouTube. That's all you see is AI content now in all sectors. You see AI content. And you know people are against it, but you can't fight AI. It's here to stay. It's here to stay. You know, so get used to all the anti-AI people. You know, oh man, AI, man, get used to it. Because AI is on your job. AI is coming for y'all jobs. It's coming for all our jobs. It's here to stay. AI been here. See, people think AI is something. No, AI probably been here since the 80s. You know, the government, they've been using AI since the 80s, probably before that, probably in the 60s and 70s. Awful. Soon as computers came into the scene, they probably was developing AI. And AI is an entity. You know, AI is its own entity. It's an entity. You know. Yep. Oh yeah. See a lot of these politicians. They scared because their name might be on that file, them Epstein files. I think we got 2 years to get our money right before we out of jobs. Yeah, see, a lot of people gonna be getting laid off, this year. That's every year you got layoffs. That's why I tell people you just gotta hold on to these jobs. And most people, I know I see a lot of videos on here, people talking about how they don't like working their job. You're creating your life for these hours on a job. That's true. Yeah, we all trading our life away working these jobs, but hey, you gotta eat. You have to eat. You don't want to be a bum on the streets, you know? She because it's a lot of these people that's living on the street, these homeless people, man, they cutthroat. They cutthroat, man. She some of them may live like barbarians. They don't care. They figure they got nothing to lose. They homeless. They don't give a damn. So they gonna get it by any means necessary. Straight up, they will get it by any means necessary. Yep. And then we got that orange baboon in office. He trying to start war after war, going to invade Venezuela, started attacking Venezuela. What them Venezuelan people did to us, man? What them damn Venezuelan people did to Americans for this damn orange baboon to go and bomb Venezuela? Yeah, America always been, you see, that's the problem with America. They want to be the world police and they want to be a bully. They always had that mentality. They think they want to rule the world. Let these other countries rule themselves. That's what they got their leaders for, their prime ministers. They kings and queens and prime ministers and whatever, sheiks and whatever you want to call them. Yeah, it's an attack on black and brown people. Exactly. Exactly. And then you got these white boys, these young white men, whether they in their 20s, like what they call them, the Warpers, Nick Fuentes. I can't stand that damn clown, man. He got a face that just need a good punch. Just punch him in the face, man. Nick Fuentes, I can't stand that clown. How you want to be a so-called white supremacist when he's not even fully white? He got Hispanic in him. That last name give him away. Fuentes. That's not a white name. That's a Hispanic name. Fuentes. What a joke he is. You got these young white guys talking about, oh, they want to play victim now, man. How y'all had a 500-year head start of us, and y'all want to play victim now? Get the hell out of here. No sympathy around here. When y'all made it unfair, when your ancestors made it unfair for the black and brown people, yeah, they still want to divide. Yep. It's crazy. Yep. And we divided by religion and politics. That's the main two things that's dividing a lot of our people is religion. And don't realize there's what, like 20,000 denominations of Christianity. About 20, 50 doctrines of the Israelite faith. There's a lot of doctrines in the Israelite faith. Even the Israelites can't get it together. You got the Old Testament Israelites, the New Testament, those who those that pro fringes, those that don't wear fringes. Yep, that's the key. If we get more black and brown relationships, man, we will repopulate at a crazy amount. Yep, exactly. And that's what they fear. They fear a black planet. They fear a black planet because originally the world was melanated. The original world was melanated. And it's going back to that, whether they like it or not. Even a scientists proved it. They said what, by the year 2050, the average person in America gonna be shades of brown, looking like they had different shades of brown. Yeah, they proved it. Even they scientists. They scientists proved it. By the year 2050, most people, you're gonna have a lot of mixed race people. You're gonna have a lot of mixed race people, whether they biracial, black and white, biracial, Hispanic and black, or biracial, white and Hispanic, or Eurasian, which is white and Asian, Eurasian, European and Asian, they call it Eurasian. Yeah, that's gonna be the new future. They can't do nothing about it. It's going on now. Look what they're doing in Europe. You got the Muslims and the African immigrants going to these European countries, and they scared of that. But I call it reaping what they sow because their ancestors went all over the world, conquered, killed the men, took the woman for themselves and got the woman pregnant, you know, so they reaping what they sow. That's all I see. They reaping what they sow, you know. So they gotta pay the pipe. Yeah. Trump just made America richer by taking their oil. Yeah, so that's what he after. He after that oil. That's sad. We got a lot of oil reserves in America. What about Texas? A big old state like Texas. Even in Louisiana, they got all reserves, like in some of these southern states. But that's the way in America. They want to go take other people's stuff. They want to go take other people resources. That's what war really is about, gathering people resources. It always been since the ancient time. It's about war, it's really about acquiring resources and territory. You know, that's the main spoils of war. The riches, the resources in the land. And they gonna use the captives to build up the empire. Yep. Yeah, I said, let me fire up a live stream today. Since I don't got nothing to do. Hold up a second. Let's see stuff. Alrighty. Yeah, I'm just checking my email there. All right. What's that, man? Have you seen Minority Report or played the game? Yeah, I remember they made a game, Minority Report. Yeah, they made a video game about it. Let's see. I find it funny Billy Bob hates blacks, but his karma gonna be that Lil Becky dates and get pregnant by a brother named Bernard. Exactly. And you see a lot of them mad because a lot of white women they going after black and brown men now. You know, they losing power, man. It's like they losing power. You know, they losing power. Yeah. Let's see, this generation of white people ain't the generation from 30 years ago. Yup. Oh yeah. And you see a lot of them white boomers, them racist white boomers, the racist ones, they wish they could go back to those times. Them times are over with. See all them MAGA supporters, the MAGA people, they ain't going back to that. Time is moving forward, whether they like it or not. Time is moving forward. Yep. Time is moving forward. So they gotta get along with the programs or get left behind. You know, straight up. They crashing out on their parents if they show any sign of racism. For real. Uh-huh. Yep. Yeah, and you know what I think? It's not it's that's part of it too. And another thing is they really they see the system for what it is. They waking up to see like a lot of white Gen Zs and white millennials, they waking up to see that they've been failed, you know. They can't have the life like their parents live, you know. And they crashing out about that too, how it's unfair, you know, and it's the job market is like in shambles and the housing market, everything going up. So that's gonna cause them to crash out too. And they feel like all the boomers is hogging all the money and those resources. And that's true to a certain extent, but you gotta point the fingers at the elite. Like the global elite, the higher ups, they orchestrated this whole generational war thing. They orchestrate all that. Huh. They matter of fact, they funded all the wars in history, the elites. Like the bankers, the world bankers, these global families, that these families that worth billions, some of them might be trillionaires. You know, they funded they funded both sides of the war, of all major wars. Now they seeing how we felt growing up in the 90s and 80s. Exactly. But what made us appreciate growing up in those times, we didn't have everything available to us at a finger tip or at a click of a button. Like TV shows, if you miss an episode of your TV shows, you have to hope and pray they air out that whole season, like rerun that whole season. Hmm. Yep. Yep, and we was more appreciative to what we had back then. Exactly. Oh yeah, we was. We had awesome toys too, like the Tyco RC cars, action figures. Toys was it back then in the 90s. Shit, if you was a kid back in the 90s and you went to Toys R Us, man, you felt like you was in heaven. Now they trying to bring Toys R Us back in some states. I saw that article on the internet. They was trying to bring Toys R Us stores, reopen some of the stores. Man, that's not gonna last, man. It ain't gonna be like it was back then because children today, they don't want toys, they want gadgets. They want like the tablets, they want the phones. Some of these children, they like 4 years old got a tablet, 3 years old got a tablet. You know, some they be infants playing with their parents' phones. They be infants, you know. That's the way the world get going. Now, don't get me wrong, some children play with toys, but they outgrow them fast. Soon as they turn 9, they throwing them toys away. They want a phone, they want a tablet, or they want electronics. I won't be surprised they want to start learning how to drive at 10 years old in these days. Oh yeah, but these children gotta understand, man. They don't want to grow up too fast. It's not fun being an adult. Just ask your millennial. Ask a fellow millennial children. You don't want to be an adult. Enjoy your childhood while you can. Because when them bills, when you gotta pay bills and deal with the stuff on the jobs, welcome to life. Welcome to adulthood. Yep. But yeah, like I was telling people, shit, it's crazy. Like you're gonna have more rappers, getting killed. Like that happened with what? Z the Wizard. I don't know these guys, these young rappers, but so say Z the Wizard got killed at a club or party. Man, that was a sacrifice. We already know that was a sacrifice. That ain't nothing new. That's why I say that music industry, man. If you're a young buck, man, trying to get in the music industry, you might as well go independent. Because we don't want to be part of the music industry, man. Or if you're a young lady that want to trying to make it big in Hollywood, you want to be a model, you better watch out for that, because they prey on youngsters. It was exactly Z the Wizard, man. That was a sacrifice. Real talk, real talk. That was a sacrifice. Ain't no friends in the business. Facts. There's a lot of snakes and cutthroats, you know. And I bet you he probably was cool with Z the Wizard for a while. And Z the Wizard wasn't expecting him to get taken out like that. That's crazy. And you see the dude that I guess I forgot his name, that big fat dude, he gonna probably blow up. Watch, he gonna start blowing up. His song's gonna get popular, and that's gonna tell you right there it was a sacrifice. Crab in a bucket, exactly. Crabs in a bucket. Yeah, but earlier I was playing. Yeah, but earlier I was playing PS5. I was playing Divinity Original Sin 2. Man, like this past. I want to say this past December. I purchased a lot of games on sale. I think I purchased about at least 5 or 7 games that was on sale. Yeah, that's when you see that's one of the positive things about that time. Catch them holiday sales. On PlayStation Network store. But they have them sales like every other month. They have a sale. Like for every season, they be having sales. They have like the fall sale, the winter sale, summer sales. You know? But that's starting to get expensive too. Video games. I hate to see when the PlayStation 6 come out. I will already predict it's gonna be starting at least at $800. Shit, everything going up. Is even your hobbies gonna become expensive. You know, even your hobbies. I thought fishing and hunting was the most expensive hobby. It look like gaming gonna be trying to catch up with those two. Nah, I don't think so, because fishing and hunting is still expensive, especially if you got all them toys like ATVs, four wheelers, a boat. Like when I be seeing some of these fishermen around here hauling boats with them trucks, I know their insurance eating them up. They gotta pay insurance on that truck, that a boat, them four wheelers. Ooh, I know their insurance be eating them up. I just brought Dying Light, The Beast, Battlefield 6, and a few others. Oh, okay, yeah, that's when you gotta catch them games when they on sale. You're like, especially if you want to buy like a deluxe edition or collector's edition, you wait till they mark them down. And that's one thing I hate about gaming in this day and age. All these different versions. It don't pay to buy the standard version no more. You might as well just get the deluxe version, because you buy the standard version, you're just getting like a small percentage of the game. and you're gonna have to pay for the rest of the game through DLC. It's all about the damn dollar, man. And speaking now, since we're talking about these video games, I don't know if you watched the Game Awards that was last in December. I think the Game Awards. Now, that was controversial with Expedition 33 won all of the awards. That was rigged. They wanted that was rigged. All reward shows be rigged. Now, don't get me wrong, they deserve to win Game of the Year, but it's not a masterpiece of a game. And yes, I never played E33. I never played it. They was just kissing French ass. I'm gonna just be real. They was kissing the French ass. They was kissing French ass. They wanted their game to win all them awards. I don't blame you. You ain't missing nothing. There's a bunch of liberals there, a bunch of woke feminazi, women there, you know. Yeah, they E33 won Game of the Year. It won 9 awards. That game won 9 awards at the Game Awards. I didn't watch it. I watched it on Slander Gaming channel. He was streaming it on his channel. I don't know if you heard of that brother. He a brother. He basically streamed RPG, like CRPG games. That's how I got into playing Warhammer 40K Rogue Trader through his channel. That's how I got into Warhammer, by watching him play Rogue Trader. He got like what, I think 40,000 subscribers now. I hope his channel grow. He a brother, he cool, he positive. He be like, greetings everyone. I hope y'all having a fine day. That's how he be, you know. But yeah, he was streaming it on his channel, and I watched it on his live stream. But yeah, that game won 9 awards. They won like Game of the Year, Best Music, Best RPG of the Year. I mean, that was rigged. And I was saying in the chat, some people disagree with me, but I stood my ground. Because that's one thing I like about Slander Gaming, man. If you have a disagreement, he gonna ask you why. He gonna welcome your disagreement. He even admitted, he said, I'm looking for someone to disagree. That's how we grow. That's how we grow in dialogue. So he don't have an echo chamber channel. Like some of these streamers, they have an echo chamber channel. If you disagree, they won't tell your moderators to kick you out or boot you out. No, he ain't like that, man. He gonna ask you, man, say like he said, oh man, I don't like this game. He gonna ask you why you don't like it. What you don't like about it. He gonna be upfront with you when he see your comment. He gonna be upfront. And he gonna tell you, oh, I disagree with that. You're entitled to your opinion, but I still disagree, But yeah, that game shouldn't have won all them awards, though, in my opinion, you know. But like I said, we already know it was rigged. I mean, they was treating this game like it was the Holy Grail, bro. Really? I'm sorry. It's a French RPG, but it's not gonna be on a level of the greats like Final Fantasy VII. Or any other the Final Fantasy games like Legend of Dragoon. And then y'all had the nerve to compare to a masterpiece. Now, Legend of Dragoon is a masterpiece. Final Fantasy VII is a masterpiece. Mass Effect is you know, I would say Mass Effect is a masterpiece, especially Mass Effect 2. Dragon Age Origins is a masterpiece. I ain't gonna say, now, even though I'm a fan of Dragon Age, I'm not gonna say Veilguard is a masterpiece. It's still a good game, but I'm not gonna call Veilguard a masterpiece, but the original Dragon Age Origins is definitely a masterpiece. But they were saying Claire Obscura Expedition 33 is a masterpiece. No, it's not. I don't see it as it's a good game, but I'm not gonna put it in the rank of a masterpiece. I'm not. And I refuse to. We got to get back to nature. Next thing you know, walking the park gonna be a feat. If you don't know, RoboCop gonna come kicking down your door, chasing you down. Man, that'll be sad. Yeah, you joking, but hey, it might be like that. We're gonna be in a tolerant. How they say that? Tolerant gum. You know what I'm trying to say? These damn English words. We're gonna get back to nature. Next thing you know, the park they're gonna charge us a fee like we at a national park. You talking about like a regular park, like a city park. Because if you got to go to a national park, you got to they charge you a fee to get up in there, you know. But yeah, that's crazy. Hmm. Yeah, that would be sad. They're gonna charge you a fee to go in a city park when that's a public. That's supposed to be available for the public. That's supposed to be available for the public. That's crazy. RoboCop chasing you down. Yeah, that'd be crazy. You got 15 seconds to vacate the premises since you have no fee. Yeah. But yeah, that's where that's what society is becoming, man. Everything is a subscription. I don't like that. And you see how people, how people gonna fight back? They're gonna go back to analog. What I mean, they're gonna start buying physical. They're gonna start buying physical media like DVDs, Blu-rays. They're gonna have people start canceling Netflix and Hulu. They're gonna go back to getting Blu-ray players. Some people gonna go trying to hunt down VCRs. I'm telling you. Look at the vinyl disc. That's making a comeback. The vinyl disc, like the records, the vinyl records, that's coming back. People gonna start buying CDs again. I ain't gonna lie, I miss buying CDs. I miss that era. I ain't gonna lie, I miss buying CDs. I miss, man. I remember back in the 2000s, man, going in Best Buy. It used to be the man. Best Buy used to be the spot. You know, I mean, a CD section used to be like a library in a DVD section. It was like a library. You had like different rows. Like every movie genre had their own row. Same thing with the music, man. Like in the 2000s, you know, I want to say like in the 2010s, that's when Best Buy started downsizing. But like in the early 2000s, Best Buy was it, man. I mean, you had the CD section, the DVD section, and all them sections was full of rows. But that's what's gonna end up happening. People gonna start buying CDs again and DVDs because they're gonna get tired of paying for these subscriptions. I'm telling y'all, they're gonna get tired of paying subscriptions because that adds up. That adds up. And don't get me started on the ads. YouTube be ticking me off with these ads. These 60-second ads? You got some buffoons on here making 10-minute videos, and they got like 2 or 3 different ads in them, and that ticks me off when they do that. How dare you? A video gonna be at least, you got people making 5-minute videos and they got ads in there. They need to come up with this rule. I think that in order for your videos to have ads, your video got to be at least 30 minutes or longer. At least 30 minutes to an hour longer or something, to have ads. But if you got under 30 minutes, you should not have no ads in your video. There should be a rule, especially if it's under 10 minutes. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. If you got a video that's under 10 minutes and you got like 3 or 4 ads, man, that's ridiculous. That's straight up ridiculous. Yep, the 2000s gonna make a comeback and best start buying a movie counter. Exactly. Cause man, I seen the Dragon Ball Z Blu-ray box set on Amazon, like the whole series of Dragon Ball Z on Blu-ray. I'm gonna have to cop that one day. Whenever I have some extra money saved, I'm definitely gonna cop that. Because I really like, what I'm talking about, the Dragon Ball Z collection with the orange brick box they used to call, like anime fans, they call it the orange brick box collection. You remember how they used to sell them in Walmart, the Dragon Ball Z series box sets with the orange cover? Yeah, that's why movies going for cheap right now at Walmart. Oh yeah, they know. See, Walmart know what's up, bro. They know what's up. I'm telling you, and you know what's gonna boost it up? You're gonna have influencers. You're gonna have content creators, influencers, because social media is the news. You see, even though people still watch the mainstream, you got some people still watch mainstream TV, but most people get their news from social media. Let's just keep it a buck. Most people get their information from either Instagram with Reels, Facebook, Shorts. TikTok, that's the main thing going on right now, TikTok. But yeah. And if you got these popular influencers start promoting, collecting vinyl discs and buying Blu-rays and DVDs, watch. The market gonna blow up. That's gonna help the market blow up. I'm telling you. But I miss them times though. You know, you go to Walmart and get them Blu-rays because I used to buy DVDs and Blu-rays back then. Oh yeah, like in the 2000s, in the early 2000s, by around 2005. You know, in the 2010s. Yeah, I think that's the Bruce. Yeah, you see, they got the Bruce Fackler soundtrack on there, the orange box. Yeah, yeah, he had the best soundtrack. Bruce Falconer. Yeah, he had the best Dragon Ball Z soundtrack. Man, he a goat. That soundtrack is the goat, bro. The Bruce Faulkner version of the Dragon Ball Z soundtrack. Yeah, that's the goat. And even the Dragon Ball Z movies, like when they released them in English, the English dub, they had the rock music. That was goat too. That they was playing them rock songs. You know, it was playing rock music. That was cool too. Man, you taking me back to the early 2000s, man. Late 90s, early 2000s, because that's when I got into anime. I got into anime like in the eighth grade, 1998, you know. Yeah, I got into the anime. Yeah. I got the orange box, but they don't got the original Dragon Ball Z Bruce. Oh, that's a bummer. They don't got the Bruce Falconer music. The Bruce Falconer music. Oh man, that's a bummer. That's a bummer. Yeah, that was the dopest era. Yeah, I agree. Man, I used to go up in Suncoast, me and my cousins and brother. Man, even though them Dragon Ball Z VHS tapes used to be expensive, it was what like almost $30 for what 4 episodes, 3 episodes on the VHS tape. Oh, okay, they got it, but it's not the original. Oh, okay. Oh, I got you. But yeah, I'm gonna eventually get it though. I saw it on Amazon one day. It's gonna be a little price. It's gonna be like 100 something, I think. It's under $200, but I'm gonna eventually get it. Most high willing. Because I've been one. Because I got some of the DVD box sets, but I don't got all of them. I got a few of the orange box sets, but I don't got all of them. you know. So hopefully, man, most high willing, I have the whole collection one day. Yeah, they on eBay too, yep. But I want to get the Blu-ray though, because you could play Blu-rays on PlayStation 5. I don't know about DVDs, but you could play Blu-rays on PS5s. It's better off of eBay. Yeah, eBay, man, eBay ain't going nowhere. eBay ain't going nowhere. That's one thing about eBay. eBay be around for a long time. And I see they got the Dragon Ball Z movie complete collection, movies 1 through 13, brand new, $155. They got the whole Dragon Ball Super so far. I'm so ticked off with Dragon Ball Super right now. I seen an article the other day on the internet. Man, we ain't gonna get the Black Freezer saga till 2030, bro. That's when we gonna get the Black Freezer saga. Cause they did like a timeline or a release window. So I think this year they say revamping Dragon Ball Super. Matter of fact, let me pull it up. Man, I saw that article. I was ticked off. Remake, yeah, they call it Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Super remake is announced early 2026. That don't make any sense. Instead of continuing the where the manga left off from, y'all want to start all over again? That don't make no damn sense. They see they milking the money, man. They trying to make more money. It don't make no damn sense. They doing. We should have been, because to be honest, we should have been had. Exactly, man. Life, we gotta live our life, man. Yeah, exactly. I blame Toya Toro. You see, after Toriyama passed away, Toya Toro took over. That buffoon don't know what the hell he doing. He don't know what the hell he doing. Yeah, PS2. I agree. Yeah, when it comes to Sony, when it comes to the Sony console generation, yeah, PS2 best ever. I agree with that. PS2 best ever, because we didn't have to worry about no damn DLC. You know, that DLC really didn't start till like late PS3. That's when that DLC nonsense started. Like between mid-tier PS3, but PS2 era was the best. You had the greatest library. I agree. That's non-debatable, bro. That's a non-debatable topic. PS2, you had the best gaming library. PS2. Man, I miss memory cards too. We had the memory cards. Man, like me and my cousins, you know what we used to do? Say like we had a certain game and we complete certain parts of it or unlock certain things in the game. We would copy, we would transfer our data to my cousin memory card, or he'll vice versa. Or if he had completed a certain thing on the game, he'll transfer the data to our memory card. That's what we used to do. Swap the data. Man, I miss them days. Man, I used to keep memory cards on deck. Man, I used to have about, I think I had like 4, 5 memory cards. Oh yeah. I still got my memory cards too. They somewhere in here. I still got my old memory cards. I miss them times though. Yeah, PS2, man. Everything was simple. Games was cheap. Like the highest you paid for a PS2 game was what, $40, sometimes $50. Yeah, the Matrix, Dragon Ball, Budokai 1 and 3, Tenkaichi. Yeah. Now when it comes like Budokai 3 was the great, and Tenkaichi, if you notice that, let me highlight that. When it comes like Dragon Ball Z, Budokai 3 was the GOAT out of that series, and Budokai Tenkaichi 3 was the best. And then I'm sorry, Sparkling Zero ain't living up to the hype of Tenkaichi 3. And I honestly say is that they was hyping up Tenkaichi 3 like it was gonna be GOAT like Tenkaichi 3. Nah, Sparkling Zero, man, y'all ain't living up to the hype of Tenkaichi 3. Y'all not. Y'all still got some characters that should be on there. Y'all don't got PyCon. Y'all don't have Super 17, but y'all want to put some stupid characters on there that doesn't make any sense. You know, exactly. Tenkaichi 3, man, that can't be replicated. They tried with Sparkling Zero, but they failed miserably. Now, don't get me wrong, Sparkling Zero is an okay game. I ain't gonna say it's excellent, but it's an okay game, but it was overhyped. It was overhyped. And you're gonna have some Dragon Ball Z tards out there talking about, oh man, you don't know what you're talking about, man. That's why I don't be online in the gaming community. Because these Sparkling Zero tards, they gonna look at me like I committed blasphemy or something. If I say Sparkling Zero didn't live up to the hype of Tenkaichi 3. It didn't. They was hyping this game up so bad, like it was gonna be the next big thing since Tenkaichi 3. Straight up. Hey, that's your opinion, man. He said, damn. I just said, okay, you giving them, you harsh. You harsh. You say, nah, bro, I give Sparkling Zero 10 thumbs down. Ooh, don't let the Dragon Ball Z Sparkling Zero tars hear you say that, because they're gonna condemn you. 10 thumbs down. It was overhyped. It was overhyped. I mean, it had what, the standard edition, the deluxe edition with all the DLC. They want to put Dragon Ball Daima characters on there. Man, give us Super 17. Give us Ice and Nova Shenron. Give us who else? Why y'all don't got the Supreme Kai on there? Give us the Supreme Kai. Give us PyCon. Even Pito Libru on there, man. That Hercules type character from the other world term. Y'all could put him on a game. Put some of the other world characters. I know they was filler characters, but I don't look at them as filler characters because they was great characters. PyCon should be canon. Y'all did PyCon third in Super. Y'all should have had PyCon. Y'all should have resurrected PyCon and had him fight in a tournament of power, man. He'd have fit in that damn arc. PyCon. Y'all could have had him That could have been his moment. Y'all made him canon, you know, resurrect him and have him in fighting the tournament of power. But no, they wasn't thinking. That wasn't thinking, man. Let's be real, bro. Any character could blow the planet up if they attack. Was like Goku on a Namek Saga. Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah. She, you, they could destroy planets in Warhammer 40K. They call it exterminatus, but it's basically what they doing it. But Dragon Ball Z characters, they're the experts of blowing planets up. Exterminatus. They're the expert of that. All they got like Beerus. Man, if Beerus sneezed the wrong way, he could blow up a whole solar system. He a god of destruction, Beerus. If he sneezed the wrong way, even if he, breaking wind, man. Let's say if he eat too much ice cream, and it give him gas. If he just boom, he gonna blow something up. Yeah, they should have had PyCon on it. I'm pissed off they don't got PyCon on Sparkling Zero, man. How dare they remove PyCon? You know? But y'all gonna put fodder characters on there. Y'all could even put on and y'all don't have Android on 14 and 15 on there, man. Show Android 14 and 15 some love. You know, the great Native American and a purple pimp. You know? That was an odd trio. Think about it. Androids 13, 14, and 15, that was an odd trio. You had the racist truck driver. You had the gray skinned Native American type character and a short pimp, a short black pimp. That was an odd trio, but it was a cool trio at the same time, though. It was an odd looking trio of characters, but man, they fit right into the movie. Yep. Why did they made Young John Tian weak? Well, they said they was doing, I guess they was doing it based off of the show, part of power scaling and all that. So in other words, if you trying to fight somebody with Tian and they got like brawling, you're not gonna win, especially if they good. And that's what a lot of people was complaining about. It wasn't balanced, but they say they wasn't making it that way though. I remember what made Tenkaichi 3 lit. It was mid-fight. If you don't use a Gallic gun, or if you do a Gallic gun versus Kamehameha, it will blow the planet up mid-fight. That was so realistic. Yeah, you could have destroyed the world. Yeah, I remember that. Yep. I know what you're talking about. Yep, it'll destroy the world with them heavy power attacks. And now they still, and you know what's crazy? They still milking the hell out of Xenoverse 2. We should have been had Xenoverse 3. Y'all could have y'all could have released Xenoverse 3 last year in 2025, if not 2024. But they still milking that game though. You see, they don't care about the fans, they care about money. That's how these companies is. You know? Bandai Namco, man, they ain't no different from Sony. Bandai Namco, y'all ain't no better than Crapcom. All these Japanese companies about money, and the American companies. But man, these Japanese companies been that way for years. You know, they left a lot of characters out on Sparkling Zero. They could have put on that. You know, yeah, they didn't put Yakan on there, Poi Poi. They could have put them on there. I'm trying to think of other characters they left out. Trying to see. Even the Dragon Ball characters, man, General Tao. You know, General Tao, General Blue, Android 8, some of King Piccolo henchmen, like Tambourine and Drum, y'all could have put them on there. The Blue Devil guy from Dragon Ball, that Blue Devil looking creature. I mean, they had so many characters you could put on there. Exactly. They had Garlic Jr. and Dr. Willow. Exactly, man. Matter of fact, Tenkaichi 3 had all the movie villains, all the man movie villains, Tenkaichi 3. See, y'all should have did it more judge. Y'all should have had Bojack and all his minions on Sparkling Zero. They still got room for more characters. Gee, if they wanted to, they could put 50 more characters on Sparkling Zero. They could put 50 more characters on there and probably still have room to put more. You know, they could have put some more characters from the world, the Tournament of Power from there. They could have put some more characters from them. Yup, y'all should have brought back all the great apes. Because you remember in Tenkaichi 3, all the Saiyans could have transformed into a great ape. You know, like Nappa had his great ape form, Raditz, Vegeta, even Bardock, Turles, all the Saiyans, like all the base level Saiyans, they had their great ape form. They should have brought that back. Yep, they had Zinger. Yep, yeah, Bojack. Yep, Bojack was dope. Yeah, I remember they had Zinger. They should have picked the Sword Fighter too, the one who fought Trunks. They should have picked him on. They should have picked all of them on there. You know, they could have picked cooler henchmen, all the cooler force, pick cooler people on there. I mean, you know, because a lot of Dragon Ball Z movie villains, they had some cool henchmen. A lot of the henchmen was cool characters, cool designs. Yep, Foster, yeah, they could have picked Bardock Crew on that too. They should have picked Bardock Crew. That's why I say, man, Tenkaichi 3, they went overboard with characters. But Sparkling Zero forgot about that, though. They forgot about it. Because they want to hype up Daima. Now, don't get me wrong, Dragon Ball Daima, it was all right. It was all right, but it wasn't. I was glad that they had Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta. I was glad to see Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta finally becoming canon, you know. So that's a plus. Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta. hmm Different creators, I think, bro. Yeah, it's different creators, exactly. It's different creators. And you gotta look at it. Tenkaichi 3, that was made like what 20 something years ago. That's a different team back then. I'm sure most of them guys that was on the development team, they probably retired or they move on to other things in their life. That was a long time ago. That was like what 20 something years ago. Matter of fact, let me go. Yeah, Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3. Trying to see when it was released. Dang, 2007. Yeah, I was out of high school. I think, let me see. Wow. October 4th, 2007. Yeah, I was out of high school. I graduated in 2003, so it was released like almost 4 years after I was out of high school. Dang. Oh yeah, I was out of high school. I was like in my early 20s when that game came out. I was like in my early 20s. Yep. I was like in my early 20s. I was probably like maybe around 23 years old when that game came out. At least 23, 24. Man, that's a long time. Shit. Yep. So you gotta realize that was like almost 20 some years ago. So that was a different development team. I'm sure some of them guys, they probably retired. They probably move on to some other things in their life. That was a long time ago. Yep. Yeah, bro. Time do fly by. Yep. Yep. So that game came out in 2007. Wow. Yeah, I was like, yeah, I was out of high school because I graduated in 2003. Yeah. So that was like 4 years after I graduated high school, that game came out. Dang. So that game, yeah, that's why I say, yeah, PS2 era was the like when it comes to the gaming generation, PS2 era was the best. You had the best library of games. I mean, Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty. But that game, that's what really hyped us up to get the PS2. Me and my cousin, we was hyped up for Metal Gear Solid 2. See, he had got the PS2 before me. He got it. I think he got his PS2 one Christmas before me, and then I got mine the following Christmas. And man, when we played Metal Gear Solid 2 for the first time on PS2. I was like, man, that was a moment there. Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty. Man, bring back memories. That's why I see. That was when gaming was gaming. We didn't have to worry about, oh yeah, Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty. Even though we got to play as Solid Snake just like for what, 45 minutes like that, and then the second half of the game you played as Raiden. That was a good storyline too, Raiden. You know, the Big Shell incident. Yeah, the so-called vampire dude. Yeah, man, that was crazy. That fight was crazy, man. Because if you fell in that water, you was sinking to the bottom. That was crazy. That water, that kind of water, you fall in there, you'll sink and drown. And then you had to, like, the first boss was Fortune. Then the first boss, like, the first major boss was Fat Man. That fat dude on some rollerblades, man. A bomber, Fat Man, a bomber. Man, that fight was crazy. A big fat dude on some rollerblades shooting a gun at you. I mean, you had some characters on that game, like the whole Metal Gear Solid series, man. It's like, it's like it's an experience. Like, it's an experience, and I think that's one of the reasons why they're releasing some of these old games and doing remakes. But they could do that all they want. It's not going to take away from the experience that we had growing up. I guess they want the new generation to experience the old school games, but it's not going to take away from our experience. You can't replicate that. You can't. You can't replicate that. Conquer. I heard of Conquer. No, I never played Conquer before. I never played Conquer. I think that was released on Xbox, huh? That was an Xbox game, Conquer. I heard of it before Conquer, but I never played it. No, it was released on my bad. It was released on 64, N64, Conquers. That Squirrel was a wild game. Yeah, it was a violent game. Yeah, Conquer. Yeah, it was a violent game. It was about a squirrel. It was an M-rated game with a squirrel. Yeah, it's definitely not for children in my age back then. Yeah, Conquer. Yeah, they need now. That's one game they should bring back. Conquer. You know, I think they should re-release Conquer. But I heard of it before. Bad Fur Day. Conquer's Bad Fur Day. If they make it for online, it would be dope. Yeah, they're gonna have a lot of people get into custom matches on that. They should bring it back. Yeah, I think it'll get a lot of people to get into if they was to bring it back. You know, since they want to bring back trying to revive a lot of these old game series. You know, they tried to revive Twisted Metal in 2012, but it bombed. That new Twisted Metal that was released in 2012, it bombed. I thought it was gonna be a traditional. I want to say the newest Twisted Metal game that came close to the classic was the one they released on a Vita, I think. Twisted Metal Head On. Twisted Metal Head On. That was the one came close to replicating Twisted Metal 2, Twisted Metal head on. But the re-release they did in 2012, man, that bombed. That bombed. That was released on PS3. They should have stuck to the traditional material, like from the first two games. If they'd have stuck to those if they'd have stuck to that material from the first two games, yeah, that's what they should have did. They did that when they made Twisted Metal head on, but when they wanted to do the Twisted Metal 2012, that's when that destroyed the franchise, in my opinion. Yeah, gaming vegans, yeah. I know, man. You have to watch out for the gaming vegans who don't want to see animals get slaughtered. Yeah, they a trip, vegans. Some of them vegans be a trip. You know what's crazy, right? These same vegans talking about they don't want to see animals get slaughtered. They might as well stop wearing leather. They have a whole leather. They wear leather shoes. They probably wear sweater made of wool to keep them cold, warm in the cold. But they talking about animals getting slaughtered. They hypocrites. If that's the case, they might as well don't wear clothes then, because cotton, most clothes got animal products in it. Like wool that comes from sheep. You know, some people wear snakeskin boots, alligator boots. That's why I say they a trip. You know how you could piss a vegan off or a vegetarian? Shit, if you go to a restaurant, they just look at you eating a steak. Just yeah, I want to order a steak, and just tear that steak up, man. Put the A1 steak sauce. They might try to lecture you about. Oh, a cow gave up their life to eat that steak, and that cow gonna be good because I'm about to eat this good steak. Now pass the steak sauce. How dare you eating that steak? A cow, innocent cow, was killed because you could enjoy that steak. And wildlife don't see us different. They see us as dinner. If we go in their territory and they hungry, they eat us. Wildlife. You go in a tiger's den. You go in a damn savannah in Africa, and your pack of hyenas is starving, and they see you just wandering around lost. They gonna try to eat you. A pack of hyenas all lions. So what's the difference? Exactly, bro. For real. You don't want to see animals get killed, but guess what? Them animals don't care if you vegan. They're gonna eat your ass for real, especially if they're hungry. Oh yeah. Especially, hey, you go in the Alaskan wilderness or the Canadian wilderness somewhere in bear country. Man, a bear gonna eat you. A bear is an omnivore. They mean they eat anything. An omnivore, that's an animal that eats anything. Bears, they eat fruits and vegetables and meat. And they'll eat people if they have to. Oh yeah, they'll eat people if they have to. They're gonna look at you like Wile E. Coyote, look at the Roadrunner. Yeah, yeah, like on them Looney Tunes when animals look at somebody and they see meat. Then they look at the meat, they look like they see a steak or a piece of ham or something. Yeah, like on them old cartoons back then. Yep. Hmm. Real talk. Real talk. Exactly. The Most High didn't want us eating meat. He would have made everything veggies. Exactly. He already knew, man. He already knew that mankind was gonna get tired of eating vegetables, so that's why he allowed us to eat meat. Like when you read the book of Exodus. But the Israelites, they was complaining about they didn't have no meat. They was getting tired of eating manna bread. They was getting tired of eating that good manna from heaven, that sweet bread, you know, that manna bread. They was complaining to the Most High, oh, we want meat. We tired of eating manna. Moses, 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 tell the Lord, man, we tired of eating manna. We want meat. And the Most High said, all right, y'all want to eat meat? I'm gonna make it rain down quail, and y'all gonna eat it all the way till it come out your nostrils. He fixed them. He made them eat so much quail till they got tired of it. Oh yeah, he showed them. He showed them. Yes, indeed. Hey, that's true. It may sound like a joke. Hey, you telling the truth. Hey, because they never documented all type of plants. Hey, you remember that movie they made back in the day, Little Shop of Horrors, about that plant creature monster? They might really do got something exist like that in the Amazon jungle. I'm telling you, they might got some type of plants that eat people like that. It's a monstrous plant, you know. Look at yeah, little house shop of horrors, I think it's called. Yeah, about that plant creature, that singing plant monster that looked like something off of Mario Brothers. Yeah, it's called Little Shop of Horrors. Little let me Google it right quick. Little Shop of Horrors. Yeah, 1986. Yeah, it's called Little Shop of Horrors. 1986 musical horror. Yep. That was a good movie. I remember watching that when I was a kid, man. Little Shop of Horrors, a talking plant. They might got some creature like that in the damn jungles. You never know. Hmm. Yep. Even Mario 64 showed that plant. Yeah. Yep. They won't be showing us for no reason. Feed me, Seymour. Yeah. Feed me, Seymour. Feed me. That's how the plant was. Yeah. Audrey. Audrey the second, I think the name of that plant was Audrey. Yeah. Like, feed me. Oh yeah, back in the 80s, they made some movies back then. They made some crazy movies. But it had you thinking though. It had you now that we older, it had you thinking, man, maybe they got some out there like that. Or maybe the government they trying to create a creature like that, the government. A man eating plant. Yep. Oh yeah, because there's so many things out there in the world they don't want us to know about. They don't want us to know about. Yeah, I remember I saw they had a video pull up on my YouTube feed. They say the age before dinosaurs was more terrifying. They think they have a theory out there. They say they had an age before dinosaurs that the insects was the size of dinosaurs. Now that'd be scary. You can imagine spiders the size of a T-Rex, or wasp the size of a pterodactyl. Man, that'd be horrified. Especially for somebody that got arachnophobia. If they scared of spiders, and you can imagine a spider the size of a you could ride on that spider like a horse, man. Man, oh, yeah, that'll be. I don't want to live in a. It'd be like that movie Starship Troopers. That's what they was fighting against, giant insects and all that. That movie Starship Troopers. That was their main enemy, some giant alien insects. Man, that's the type of world we have to be like on that movie Starship Troopers. Yep. Yeah, fighting a spider, He-Man style. Speaking of He-Man, that was a show back in the 80s too. Like that was Gen X slash millennial show. Like my uncle, man, he had a lot of He-Man toys. Yeah, he had them. He had the Battle Cat, the He-Man tiger, the green tiger. He had that. Man, he had G.I. Joe. I mean, they had toys back in the 80s, man. You had Transformers. Even though I was like, when all these toys was being made, I was just like maybe because I was born in '84. So when all these toys came out, I was like a toddler. I was like a toddler. So and like in the early '90s, that's when we got exposed to Ninja Turtles, the '80s edition, the 1980s edition. But they better like I mean, because some people consider like the people that's born in '84, they consider us to be like zillennials, like not I mean exiting like half Gen Z and half millennials. Some people, because I had a Gen X person told me, they say, man, you fit right in with Gen X, with your mentality. But I say, no, man, I'm considered to be a millennial. I know they like picking on our generation a lot. They sure like taking shots at us millennials. They say, oh, we soft, we complain too much. No, we just see the truth for what it is. We had like most of us millennials, we had the best childhoods out of most of the generations. We had the best childhoods, but we got the crappy adulthood though. and I think Gen Z gonna take that title. They probably gonna take they probably just the lost generation. Gen Z, they lost. They confused. But most of us millennials, yeah, we had decent childhoods, but the majority of us, we feel like if you ask the average millennial right now, if you ask the average millennial right now to rate your childhood, they probably are rated between a 8 to a 10, around that range. I'll say by between a 7 to a 9 or 10. And you ask the average millennial today to rate their adulthood, huh? It'll probably be like a 2 or 3, or 4. It's gonna only be a small percentage of them that's gonna rate it like between 7 or 8. That's a small percentage, but most millennials, if you was to ask them questions, rate your childhood and adulthood for their childhood, is gonna be either 8 or 9 or 7. Might be a little low, because everybody don't have a perfect life. Everybody don't have a perfect childhood or adulthood. But most millennials, man, they adulthood would probably be a 3 or 4 because of things going on in the world. You know. Now ask Gen Z about their adulthood, they gonna probably be like, huh, huh. They might want to cuss you out or give you a 0, 0. You know. Yep. Yeah, my adulthood was at 7. Yeah, man. Some children are forced to grow up that. And I think, yeah, unfortunately, some children are was forced to grow up too fast. And that's sad. But hey, life. Everybody got a different story. Hmm. Yeah. Had fun growing up in New York City, man. Different time to be alive. Yeah, now people these days they want to get out of New York now. Hmm. They trying to get out of New York. I've been saying that since 2019. Like New York and California, that's two of the worst states to be in right now because of the cost of living. You know, the cost of the living, man. Everything's so expensive. You know, like I was telling that to one of my coworkers the other day. We was having a conversation about how things are expensive, and I was telling them like back 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 in the '90s, like back in the '90s, you know, if you heard somebody was a doctor or a dentist or a lawyer, it was like, man, they balling, man, they making it, they making it. Oh yeah, it's sinking. Maze Runner? No, I never seen Maze Runner before. I'm gonna have to check that movie out because I know it's based off of a book. It looked like an interesting movie though, Maze Runner. I'm gonna have to check that out. I gotta get into back into movies, man. To be honest, brother, lost. It's like I lost my. It's like I lost my mojo when it comes to watching movies. I don't know what it is. Maybe because I don't have time or I don't make our time to watch movies. I be so much on YouTube, like so much watching YouTube. It's like I don't have interest watching movies like that. I have to get back into movies though. I gotta get back into movies instead of watching all this bullshit content on YouTube. You know what I mean? You know? Yeah, because Maze Runner, they got so many movies I still gotta watch, you know. Just like I have people be recommending me watching series, you know, like they had one lady, one lady she recommended me to watch Stranger Things. You know, she said, "Oh yeah, if you like fantasy stuff and Dungeons and Dragons, you're gonna like Stranger Things." And I see that's what Stranger Things look like. It's based off of like a role playing game or something. You know, I'm gonna definitely have to check out Stranger Things though. I know they ended it. I think they had like the fifth season was the last season. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. Like I said, I don't have. It's like when you're an adult, time go by fast. That's what I try to tell children and young people. I say when you're an adult, man, the time go by fast. And yeah, we got 24 hours in a day, but them 24 hours go by like water. Man, 24 hours ain't nothing, man. You'd be surprised you could burn through 24 hours like it's nothing when you're an adult. Especially if you're working, you're working on projects, you're doing your job. It depends what type of work you do. But yeah, them days go by fast though. Years going look, we in 2026 already. And it just seemed like we was in 2025. Now we're in 2026, according to the Gregorian calendar, because we know the real New Year don't begin till spring, around March or April. I think Stranger Things are based off of real life events. I saw season one of Stranger Things. I'm on the second season. Yeah, yeah. I'm have to definitely check out Stranger Things though, because somebody recommended me to watch it. You know, and they've been hyping it up, with other media stuff, and promotions and all that. Yeah, but definitely, I definitely should definitely go try to get into it. When I have some time. But like I say, man, when you're an adult, that's funny how when we was children going to school, even when we was teenagers, like when we was like even when you was a teenager, time went by slow. But soon as you be an adult, soon as you get in your 20s, that's when the clock start ticking. Soon as you hit 20 and 21, next thing you know, you're 25, and then bam, you're in your 40s. You're in your 40s. And like I was telling my mama the other day, I was talking, my cousins, like my young cousins, they children getting up in age. Like one of my cousins, her oldest daughter, 14. I'm like, man, them children grown. And my mom was like, you getting old. I said, yeah, I'm getting old and outdated. She said, no, you ain't outdated. Well, sometimes I feel like I'm getting outdated. Most of us millennials feel that way, especially for us millennials that's not homeowners, that don't have a family. We feel like we outdated. We feel like we left out. We feel like we missed out on life. You know, but it is what it is. You know, because you got people that got that, which they could be which they ain't had it. Because it's the pressures of life. But hey, it is what it is. But yeah, imagine gerbils getting chased by snakes. They got some big bugs in Maze Runner. Bro, it's like how we was kids. We used to love watching gerbils or hamsters and running in the tunnels. Oh, okay, yeah, like the little hamster wheel. Man, I remember back in the day, Walmart used to sell them type of pets. I don't know if you remember, like Back in the 90s, Walmart used to sell goldfish. They used to sell birds. I remember like in the late 80s, early 90s, Walmart used to sell pets. They used to sell gerbils. They used to sell mice. They used to sell birds like parakeets and all that. Yeah, they used to sell pets. They don't do that no more. They just sell the pet food. They don't sell fish no more. I think fish was the last type of animal they sold at Walmart, and they discontinued selling fish. I think like in the 2010s. But yeah, like in the 80s and 90s, man, Walmart used to sell pets. They used to sell birds, mice, gerbils, all that, hamsters. I guess it was too much for the workers to do. They got tired of that, you know. Good thing they don't sell that no more because you'll have shoplifters trying to steal a gerbil. For real. They'll try to shoplift a damn gerbil or goldfish. Them shoplifters don't care. They'll steal anything they could get their hands on. Yep. Yes, indeed. People think hamsters are gerbils, not dangerous. Them things from the rat family, so play with them if you want. Exactly, yeah, they know them to bite. If they don't know you, they gonna bite you. A hamster or gerbil, yeah. Yeah, they look like cute little creatures, but they will bite. Oh yeah. And they say don't get a male and female because you're gonna have a whole hamster farm. They breed, they breed. It don't take much for them to breed. Yeah. Yeah, that'll be funny. Yeah, they trying to steal a hamster. They hamster will bite them up, bite their fingers off. But yeah, them shoplifters, they don't care. They'll try to steal anything. That's a shame though, because if you go to your nearest Walmart, I'm surprised they don't got the batteries in a glass case. They got flashlights behind the glass case. Like if you go to sporting goods, you gotta ask the associate for to buy a flashlight because it's behind a glass case. I'll be like, damn, man, they stealing flashlights that bad? Yeah, they eat their babies if they don't know they sin. Yep. Same thing with birds. Like if a bird don't if a bird, say like if you try to touch a baby bird, they will leave that baby bird to starve a mother bird because they don't recognize the scent. I mean, the animal kingdom is cruel. The animal kingdom is cruel. Oh yeah. Yeah. But yeah, man, they even got the baby formula in a behind the glass keys. You know, like I said, they don't care. Them shoplifters, they steal anything. Yeah. It's a nuisance because I remember once upon a time, yeah, it wasn't like that. You could have just easily picked something off the shelf and go pay for it. Not no more. You gotta like in electronic. You see a lot of people get annoyed by that when they go to Walmart. or Target, they gotta ask for, to get something behind the glass case. And then you got some of the workers, they don't even want to open the gate. They don't even want to open the case to get it out for you. I'll be like, ain't that your job? You're supposed to help the customer. I ain't gonna lie. Like when I gotta ask them to get something out the case, sometimes I get a little anxiety because I know some of these workers could be disgruntled. They just have an attitude, and I be saying to myself, "Oh man, I hope they don't got no attitude." What's good, Chris J? What's good? But man, I be like, man, I hope they don't. I used to have that a lot, man. I used to get like a little anxiety when I had to go ask a worker to get something out the glass case. Especially when I was like younger, like when I was a teenager. I had my money to pay for the stuff, you know. But yeah, even GameStop, man, used to give me anxiety, a little anxiety. Because they want to sell you, they want you to buy a damn used version of the game. No, I want to buy a brand new version. I want something in a shrink wrap. That's why I don't miss dealing with GameStop. I don't miss dealing with them buffoons. What's good, Chris G? Good to see you, brother. We in another year, 2026. The same buffoonery though. You got crazy politicians want to make life difficult for the working class. That ain't nothing new. But yeah, back to what I was saying. Yeah, I used to, until this day, sometimes I still, get a little anxious about it, even though that's their job. Yeah, likewise, man. Happy false new year. Because we know the real new year don't begin till spring, like in April or March. So I'm gonna just say happy false new year. They new year. Yep, we still here by the grace of the most high. Hey, yep. Let's continue to piss them off, brothers. You got people that want us to wish they got people out there wish we wasn't here. So let's like piss off your haters by staying in the land of living, because I know we all go through things in life, but hey, keep on enduring, keep on enduring, man. Life is a journey, we gotta understand this life is a journey, man. It's a damn journey, it's a journey. So we here, remain here through the grace of the Most High. Yeah. I'll piss off my haters every chance I get. I hear you, bro. you know, yeah, because you got people they just hate on people just for no reason, man. Just for you existing. You got people hate you for still existing. That's the crazy part about it. You ain't did nothing to them a day in your life. You just going by your merry way, minding your business. And it's like that on your job too. You got people on your job, you know, they fake, man. They haters. They mad. It's like they got some people mad that you still there, that you still working there. And it could be a job you can't stand, because most people don't like their jobs. But I'm just saying, you got haters at your job. You minding your business, you're doing a job to the best of your ability, trying to get your work done. They gonna talk behind your back and all that. They plot against you. Got one job maintaining and looking and dressing and getting beautiful things every chance I get. Spoken like a brother. He's spoken like a brother. Shit. Yeah, man, it's haters, bro. I be like, you go there to work. You got people that get mad because you don't want to have a conversation or gossip about another coworker because you're trying to get that's what a job's supposed to be there. But, unfortunately, you got people with the high school mentality, you know. I'm off 2 days out the week, and I dress one of my days off to let them see y'all haters can't do this. Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that. Yeah, you supposed to, man. That's what you got your street outfit and you got your work outfit. Yeah, I don't know if y'all wear uniforms at y'all job, but I'm just saying, yeah, you gotta let them see your out of work uniform. You gotta let them see how you dress out of uniform. Mind you, I even got a call, but I'm still maintaining what little I get. Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that. Yeah, maintain your promobile, you know. You gotta take care of your promobile as a fellow proletariat to the next proletariat. You gotta take care of your promobile, man. That's your bread and butter. Get you to point A to point B. That's the mentality I was taught, man. You know, I was taught, man, I don't make fun of another man's car. I'm glad to see a man driving, you know, the next person able to get a car. Because the same people that's hating on your car, they be the ones who riding the bus or walking. Man, that's childish. I never had that mentality. Oh, making fun of somebody's car. Everybody had to start off. Most of us started off with a hoopty or beater till we was able to afford something decent. You know, we wasn't no spoiled brats. We wasn't one of these preppy rich kids that parents brought them a truck for graduating. No, no, man. The first vehicle I drove was my daddy. It was a 1988 Toyota pickup, a EFI, a 1988 pickup truck. I called the old green. It was painted. He painted it green, but it was an old truck. That paint was fading off. Like some of the paint was fading. You still had the emerald green on it, but it was fading. You know, the muffler was rattling. But hey, I went everywhere in that truck. I ain't gonna lie, man. I went all over in that truck. You know, I was going to work. I was going to the technical college. I was going back and forth. When I was going to the Tesh campus technical college. I went there. And I went to work in that truck. I used to go to Lafayette. Oh yeah, man, I never forget. It was me and my cousin. We was going to see Fearless, the Jet Li movie that came out. That martial art movie, Jet Li. We went to see that movie in Lafayette. Man, it was raining. Man, it started raining. That rain started coming down. Man, I pulled in that parking lot. I said, man, you know what? I don't feel like driving this heroin. We just gonna pull. We gonna pull over in this parking lot. Wait till the rain clear up. The rain cleared up. We made it to the movie safe. Watched the movie. It was a good movie. And then we went to the mall after that. Oh, yeah. I miss Old Greenie, man. That was a good truck, man. And them Toyota trucks, them old school Toyota vehicles, man, them things will last you damn near 30 years if you take care of it. They'll last, man. I'm telling you, if you take care of them, and then you got some of the buffoons out there. They want to try to get on a man for driving a Honda. Oh, man, you driving a woman's car, man. That's a woman's car. Man, that's ignorant, man. A car is a car. You know, you know. Shit, you know, you got women driving trucks now. Women be driving trucks. They don't care. It's like, man, you drive what you want to drive. You can afford it, you gonna buy it. You know? Just like you got a lot of women, they driving Jeeps. They like driving Jeeps now. Exactly. A car is a car. Yeah, I don't know if you heard that before. Like some Negroes will be like, oh man, that's a girl's car. Honda Civic, you driving a girl's car. That'd be the same broke ass niggas driving their girlfriend car though. But they want to make fun of another dude driving a Honda. Man, we can't make it make sense. Make it make sense. Yep. They mad we know how to maintain little we got, the children of the Most High, so he give us all to see what we do with it. And all we ready for the bigger blessings. That's right, bro. That's right. Yeah, facts. Those men who are insecure. Exactly. Yeah. Man, Honda is a good call. I like the Honda Civics and Honda Accord. That's some good calls. Honda, just like the Honda trucks. The Ridge, now when the Ridge line first came out, they was ugly, but the new model Ridge lines, they decent. They decent. Just like the Nissan Frontiers, they decent now. Because when the Nissan Frontier first came out, it was too small. Now they made them, they're a mid-size truck. Because you see, you got them big trucks, and you got, like, for example, you got the Silverado, that'll be the full-size truck, and you got the Colorado, that's like a mid-size truck. Even the mid-size trucks be big, like the Toyota Tacoma, that's a mid-size, and you got the Toyota Tundra, that's the full-size truck. Even the mid-size trucks be decent, man, and be big. I want to be around females who want to be around me. Yep, that's how it's supposed to be. Yep. If a female don't like me, I'm gonna be like, I don't like their ass either. uh, but yeah, man, I'll be like, the same dudes that are trying to mock your vehicle, they probably walking off catching the bus. Because catching the bus, that's a humiliation ritual. Some people treat that like a humiliation ritual, riding the bus. And that's a blessing if you don't have to ride the bus, because count your blessings. Count your blessing, because the way the world is these days, people are cray-cray. You got a lot of cray-cray people getting on the bus. You know, you got a lot of crazy people be on them buses. You know, they ain't no different from the subway. Like people that got to deal with the subway in New York or other cities that have the subways. Yep. I ain't no shame in my game. I got my transportation. Oh, I don't forget where I come from. Exactly. Exactly. But unfortunately, you got a lot of people, they forget where they come from. No, you gotta remember where you start. Humble beginnings, humble beginnings. Say like if the Most High take you from this place and bring you to another place, count your blessings and remember where you came from, so you can appreciate where you at now. For example, say like if he bless you with a new job opportunity, take you from this job and bring you to that job, they might pay you a little more, or you might get a few more hours and they pay you more. Count your blessings and be thankful, it's an opportunity. And remember where you came from so you can appreciate where you're at now. I'm just using that for example. Yeah, well, a lot of people, man, they forget where they come from, especially on these jobs when they get a position. I don't like that. I couldn't stand that. Like at the job I currently work at now, I seen a lot of them like that. They start off like at a regular position and they get like a little position. They think they're a big boss now. And they're not even a manager. They just like a supervisor or something. But they think they own the place. Nah, I don't like people like that. Like one of my aunts told me. She was like, if your name not on the building, you don't own that place. And that's true. She told me the truth. If your name is not on the name of the building, like on the front building, you don't own that place. And I came up with this one. I was like, look, you ain't a big fish unless you sitting with the CEO at the board of directors. If you're not sitting at that round table, that almond color round table, it could be a round table or oval shaped table, or a long square table. If you're not sitting with the big sharks with the board of directors, man, you ain't a big fish. You're a guppy. You're a guppy. They look at the store managers as a guppy, or regular managers. Say if you work at a warehouse or something, they'll look at like the owner of that company, they'll look at that warehouse manager as a guppy, even though he's in charge of that. Just like at the Amazon warehouses, whoever like the head honcho at these Amazon warehouses, the board of directors look at them as guppies, you know. But some people don't understand that though. They can't get it through their head because they feel, oh, I got this management position. I'm boss now. I'm running people. I'm the boss man. I'm the boss woman. You know. It's crazy. But yeah, that's their mentality. They forget where they come from. Yeah, I'm still here. I'm still here. All right, that's me. I'm just handling some business with my emails there. You know how that is. Yeah, that's me. Yeah, it's me. Yeah, that's me. You gotta let them know that was you signing in. Right? That's one thing about them emails. Let's see. Okay. Someone on a record. Hey, it was me. It was me. Yeah, it was me. It said, if this was you, you're all set. Okay. Yeah, that was me. Mm-hmm. All right. All right. About to roll out. Yeah, okay. Oh, you working that, you getting ready for that night shift, huh? That's what's up. Hey, go make your bread, brother. Hey, go make your bread and enjoy the fruits of your labor, brother. That's how it is. That's how it go. Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm about to wrap this up too, because we're approaching 2 hours. I'm about to wrap this up. Appreciate the conversation, Thank you for tuning in. Like I said, I was like, so I said, man, let me fire up a live stream, man. Because it's been months since I did a stream, like I said. The YouTube stuff been, I'm trying to work out other things in my life, most high willing, it go according to his will and work out in my favor. I put it in his hands. But yeah, most high willing, I'll probably try to do some more streams or videos whenever I feel like, because that's what people gotta understand, man. I know some people treat YouTube like a job and business. You got, matter of fact, let me talk about that. You got people talking, oh, YouTube is a business. No, it's not. You working for you. They take more than they give YouTube. That's what these content creators don't realize. You got these content creators, they want to brag to, oh man, YouTube is a business. No, it's a fiefdom. It's a you a sharecropper. You ain't no different from a sharecropper because they don't even pay you what you're worth. You was thinking of Bob Man the other day. Hope all is well with you. All praise, man. Hope all is well with you, brother. Yeah, like I say, I'm still here. I'm still here. Oh yeah. By the grace of the Messiah. Oh yeah, I'm still here. I just been behind the scenes. I still be on the YouTube, watching YouTube and stuff. I'm like I say, I'm a spectator now. You don't have to be. Sometimes you got to go back to being a spectator. Like it's like a mix. I got like mixed feelings about the content creation. I miss doing content and I don't miss doing content. If you know what I mean, you know. But I miss certain people and I don't miss certain people too. But yeah, it is what it is. Like I say, man, I hope this year will be prosperous for all of y'all, that's listening. And those that's in the background, man, I know it's a lot of buffoonery going on in the world, but try to stay positive to the best of your ability, even though there's too much negativity going on. But hey, we gotta still try to have some type of positivity in our life. Real talk. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this stream up. But yeah, but back to what I was saying before I wrap this stream up. But yeah, people want to say, "Oh, YouTube is a business." Man, you can treat YouTube as a business all you want, man. They don't see you as a business. They see you as a worker. They see you as you ain't. It's no different from working a job. It's no different from working a job. You don't own nothing. I don't care if you got 1 million subscribers. You ain't owning nothing on YouTube. They own you. That's what people don't understand. The more big you get on YouTube, they're gonna try to own you even more. You gotta walk on more eggshells. People don't understand that. It's like once you get, as soon as you get a silver plaque and you make it to that million, you gotta dim part of yourself. You gotta diminish yourself. You gotta like present yourself to their liking. You can't be authentic. Because if you a million, if you step out of line talking about something they don't agree with, man, they pulling your channel, they demonetizing you. So how that's a business? No, you working, you a slave. The more subscribers you get, the more clout you get, you're gonna be a slave to it. YouTube ain't no different from Hollywood in the music industry. That's what people don't understand. It's no different. It's a part of Hollywood in the music industry. Why you think you got a lot of these celebrities coming on YouTube? Because they going for broke. They going to social media. They trying to build up something on social media because they know a lot of people not really supporting Hollywood like that. You know, so that's something to think about. But you got these people out, oh, YouTube is a business, man. I'm running this. You don't run nothing. You don't even own 1% of YouTube. A lot of these content creators, they're not going to let you own 1% of it. And even if you was to own 1% of it, that ain't nothing. That's just 1% of it. That's not even a fraction of YouTube. But all right, y'all, man. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day, like I said. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.